Not as much as in the U.S., but it's certainly giving pause to investors who are expected to push the sell button as we get underway right now on Wall Street. And here we go. Let's take a look at the big board and the Dow 30 stocks. By the way, about a third of these stocks on the Dow 30 will be reporting their earnings this week. But that is just a sea of red. As you can see, just one stock unchanged, American Express, the other 29 all trading lower right out of the gate. Let's take a look at the S&P as well if we can. We're expecting that to be down, well, there you go, 1.25% as we saw in the pre-market. S&P down to 42.72, down 54 points, 1.25%. And let's look at the NASDAQ. That has been the laggard of late, the big tech stocks of the NASDAQ, and we're down again 1.25% on the NASDAQ, down to 14,240, a loss of 187 points. And as you can see, the Dow down 480 points. And we're talking about big tech, so let's take a look at big tech. All down, some modestly so, but Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple in particular. Apple is off more than 1.5%, down at 143.98. All right, let's take a look at Zoom if we can. They're buying cloud contact center provider Five9. Zoom down, Five9 up. Lauren, what's this deal worth?
$14.7 billion. So it's Zoom's biggest deal ever and the second largest tech deal this year. Look, as workers start to go back to the office, Zoom has to look beyond video chat that you did mostly at home. So they're going to use Five9's call center technology to reimagine and simplify the way businesses interact with their customers.
All right, interesting. 14 billion, that's a lot. All right, Lauren, let's check cruise lines if we can. These recovery stocks all getting hit hard because of the fears of more COVID cases, and that's certainly the case with the cruise lines. And by the way, the U.S. Appeals Court sided with the CDC, and they have put on hold a lower court decision that said the CDC could not enforce its COVID cruise ship rules in Florida. The cruise lines all down solidly. Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, and Carnival all down more than 4%. Same story with the airlines, I would believe. Let's take a look. Down big on reopening concerns, and yep, there you have it. All sorts of red. United, American, JetBlue, Delta, Southwest, all solidly down in the very early going. If we can we find some Dow winners? I'm not so sure we can. The only one at the opening bell was the unchanged American Express. There you go. P&G, Procter & Gamble, Merck, Walmart, they are moving ever so slightly higher. At least they're not in the red. Those are the three winners right now. Let's take a look at the S&P 500, see if we can find stocks that are on the upside. We can. Clorox, maybe that's a tip to the added virus cases, but Clorox up 1%. Kroger, Costco, Mondelez, Charter.com, all are moving higher in a very down market. And take a look at the NASDAQ winners if we can as well. We have Inside, Costco again, Mondelez, PepsiCo, Xcel Energy. Those stocks are all moving up about 0.5%. Let's take a look at AutoNation, the auto retailer. They reported this morning. I got a feeling they did pretty well, right, Lauren?
Well, actually, demand for new cars up 42% in the quarter. For used cars, up 37%. And AutoNation expects that to continue until 2022. This is my favorite metric. This says it all. Supply is the issue. The supply of new vehicles on the market, 14 days. It was 49 days last year, and that's why they have record revenue just under $7 billion. Good luck finding a car and getting a good price.
Yeah, you're going to pay top dollar, bottom line, no doubt. Let's take a look at XPeng. The Chinese car maker just priced its new P5 sedan. Lauren, they undercut Tesla? Is that the story?
They did. Starting price about $25,000. That's after subsidies, but that's more than a third less than Tesla's Model 3, which starts at $39,000. Look, China's the world's #1 car market. Demand for electric vehicles there is booming because of the subsidies by Beijing. So Tesla makes a fifth of its global revenue in China, but it's facing price competition from XPeng, NIO, Li Auto, and others as well.
Yeah, it's a big EV market, the biggest. All right, Lauren, thank you. Let's take a look at Tesla if we can. The company offering customers FSD Premium Driver's Assistance for $199 a month. Owners must have Tesla's newest computer, Hardware 3, in order to subscribe. An upgrade costs around $1,500. That stock, though, in today's market, down 2.5% at $628 per share. Take a look at Bitcoin. We talked about this with Dennis Gartman, trading lower this morning, getting very, very close to that 30,000 level, 30,525. It's off $1,400. If it breaks through that 30,000 perceived support line, where does it go next? That is the question. What is the latest with the cryptos, Lauren?
Well, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen will meet with regulators today. They're trying to bring transparency, clarity to this market. Look, for crypto and for stable coins, which unlike crypto, they're backed by assets like the US dollar or gold, but the regulators are also concerned about them, the stable coins, as a risk to not only the crypto markets, but the capital markets as well. There was a paper by a Federal Reserve attorney and a Yale economist warning of systemic risk. So there's a lot of currents that are impacting the cryptocurrency markets today. As Dennis Gartman says, be very, very cautious. We'll see if Bitcoin, because the 30,000 level is a support level. Let's see if it can hold that today with this major sell-off.
Let's see. Oh, yes. All right. Thank you, Lauren. Let's take a quick check at the big board. Why don't we? And it tells the story. Down 492 points on the Dow, good for close to a 1.5% drop.